Funny, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimension. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. Now, all I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. I appreciate it when you guys go out of your way to click on that thumbs up to let me know you appreciate the time and effort that I put into making these videos, and it helps out the YouTube channel. And stay tuned towards the end because I have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss, and you definitely want to add it to your watch list. So here we are, Nndm. Nndm is actually in a downward trend, but building some momentum now, right? We've seen the overall market building momentum, but I want you guys to be aware that stocks like Nndm, stocks that are growth stocks, innovation, and the hype of the future, they're going to move a lot slower than they did last year. I do want you guys to be aware of that, but it doesn't take away the fact that there's opportunity, right? Because the more of a chance you have to buy at these low numbers, right, these low prices per share, the bigger the opportunity is coming in the future. I mean, the more shares you can rack up, the better. I want you guys to think about it this way: the longer prices stay where they're at or around where they're at, as long as they don't do like a flash crash and go down, like, let's say for example past $6 and fall back down to $3, you know, the longer it stays within these areas, the bigger the opportunity. Because if you think about it, a lot of investors, unless you are a full-time investor, you don't have the opportunity to just say, okay, I'm gonna put 1,000 here this month, and then tomorrow I'll buy another 1,000, and I'm gonna buy another 1,000 in just a few days. What you do is you try to get your cost average as low as possible by buying maybe 100 shares at a time or 50 shares at a time, whatever your goal is, right? And you're buying pieces at pieces of pieces of pieces. Not everyone has the opportunity to do like institutional investors and say, oh, this is the perfect price at $8.75. I think this has opportunity. This could probably reach $18 again, probably break through that and reach $30, $40, $50. Let's just put $1 million in right now, and that could probably 4x, 5x in the near future. We don't have that opportunity as retail investors, right? We have to go ahead and nibble. So this is why these moments to look at supports and resistance are so important, to understand the most recent lows, the lows that just got touched, and you could see the weakness and strength of the stock market overall. I've said this to a lot of investors in the comments, because a lot of people say, oh, technical analysis no matter is valuable. And I don't agree with that. I've been using TAs for almost 9 years, and I think that TAs have always helped me as an investor pay close attention to the weakness and strength of a stock. I understand that TAs won't work as powerfully as they were when we were in a bull market and in the conditions that we're in now, but TAs will always help you focus on your goal. I mean, if you believe in a company, your goal is to own as many shares as you can at the lowest prices. Now, just because you own more shares doesn't always mean you're going to make more money. I want you guys to also understand that as well. But when you don't have enough capital to go ahead and buy in at the levels you want to buy in, the longer the stock stays in these areas, just giving you an example, let's do it like this. So the 1st of March was $10, right? Fell down to 6, came back up to 11. And now we are in March here, leading towards the end of April. Okay, you get paid bi-weekly. So you had some money left over from your bi-weekly check of February, and you saw it falling. You got a little bit hesitant. The market was falling. You bought in at $8. Okay, you believe that was a good price. Now it fell down a little bit more. You had a little extra cash. You bought in at $6. You ran it back up. You were just holding, and you were probably averaging down by making these purchases, but you were just holding, and now it's falling back down. You're supposed to be excited that it's falling back down because it's getting back down to the levels, and you just got paid right in the middle of March. You're holding that money, and you're ready to go buy more shares. Boom, you're back to the $8 mark. You've been buying at 8. You've been buying at 6. You've bought and you held on the way back up, and you're now having a chance to buy at 8 again. You know, that right there is spectacular. So you get to ease your way into a position, because the little moments, and this is something I want every single investor and viewer to understand, especially my Nano Dimension viewers, because you guys are so faithful and you guys watch my videos a lot, because I'm going to do a series about this over at Patreon, and I'm going to teach people more about the psychology and emotional intelligence that comes with the stock market, and also about charts. But let me share this with you guys. So all this movement here does not matter when you're focusing on the future growth, right? You think this stock is going to go higher. So all these movements, when you're doing technical analysis, you're having an opportunity to understand the strengths and the weakness of the stock, to pay close attention to it. So if you're trying to buy yourself into a larger position, all these movements here have no correlation or matter whatsoever to what's to come in the future. They let you know where you're at, and you have a focus, right? You can kind of tell just looking at this, the way I look at charts. $6 down here, 650 is my low, and my high here is 11. So anything in between that area is a steal. Anything below 650 is going to get even better, or it might raise a red flag. Okay, there's two ways to look at it. It could be a red flag, or it could be a reason to get out. But let me go ahead and show you guys why these little movements don't matter, because this little movement once was the movement that was going on down here. Okay, and this was one of the biggest bearish runs and one of the first offerings, and I can understand why, because it was still a penny stock and it fell. If somebody didn't have money to buy in right away, but they bought in September, they bought in October, they bought in November, they bought in December, they bought in January, that investor was hoping for this to slow down and not go up so fast, so they can average their costs up, obviously, but buy as many shares as they can with the same little capital that they have. You got to think about this. You're a hard-working citizen, right? If you're not a full-time trader, you have a full-time job. That's what most of us have, right? We as retail investors, I myself, a retail investor, I am not having the opportunity to just buy in at these large amounts. I buy in little by little, whatever stock I believe in, right? The stocks I'm watching on Patreon, I'm looking for opportunities. And sometimes I talk about stocks that are looking like an opportunity, but just because I don't have the capital, I'm not going to steal that away from other investors when I see opportunities present themselves or potential present themselves. Now, there's so many ticker symbols in the stock market that there's opportunity for everyone. So the longer the stock stays at these levels, you're supposed to be excited if you believe in the company. Now, if you don't, then you'll be worried, and I understand. But if you believe in the company and you're a true bull, go ahead and tell us how many shares you have, how many shares you look at yourself loading up to. Have you been unloading, loading up, and how do you feel about what ARK Invest has been doing? And put those rocket ships so we know, those of you that see this one, going to the moon. But let's look at our new resistance and support based off today's price action, and I want you guys to be aware of how ARK Invest has positioned themselves. And I apologize for rambling, but I do need you guys to be aware of this. And that was just a little drop of a snack, right, of knowledge that I want you guys to let marinate. And if you guys are interested in learning more, you can always join us over at the Patreon. So here we are with ARK Invest position. So today's the 26th. Yesterday the 25th in ARKQ, they had 6,909,979 shares. And ARKQ today, they have 6,901,320 shares. So they went down about 8,000 shares. That's really light of a difference, right? They're actually kind of nibbling their way out with small positions, but I could see that being a rebalancing more than anything. I would be concerned if it's over 100,000 at a time. And probably I would still give it some time as long as they don't go down, doing that for like 10 days straight. So ARKW on the 25th, 5,678,742 shares. And today, ARKW on the 26th, 5,660,673 shares. So you could see here in ARKW how they've gone down 18,000. So one was 8,000, just about roughly, and the other one is 18,000. So you could see that there between those two. So they've went down almost, a nice chunk of a little bit over 20,000 shares. So it's interesting to me how ARK Invest is positioning themselves, but they're still holding a big chunk of ownership, right, in Nndm. Now, here we are with the 50-day moving average, and that's 867. Anything above it is bullish. Anything below it is bearish. Now, this is in tug-of-war zone. I do want you guys to be aware of that, and we need to be mindful of that. Now, the support here is 826. If that gets broken through, you need to watch this carefully, and your next support's down here at 779. I do want you guys to be aware of that. We need to watch this carefully, and if the bulls try to reappear and bring it back up, or are the bears tearing this one down fairly fast? Now, our resistance is key for this momentum to continue and the bulls to pull away from the 50-day moving average and reach newer highs. They need to break through this resistance, and that is 901. That needs to be turned into a support so the bulls can pull up to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, guys, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Stay tuned to the end because I have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss. I've been talking about it. I sound like a broken record. It's a SPAC merger said to be the stock of the decade, so stay tuned. The ticker symbol that you guys should add to your watch list is definitely one that I'm about to sound like a broken record. I did a full video on it. I'm going to have it pop up soon somewhere up here on this side of the screen. And you guys should definitely go check it out if you have time or if you want to stick through for this. Now, the other video is a full due diligence, almost 16 minutes of me talking about GHVI, my bullish case on it, and how I feel about it. But here I'm going to summarize everything that I've said so far and when I started to watch it and tell all the members over at the Patreon about it. So if you like this video and you find it helpful and informative, please do so and smash that like button to let me know you appreciate the time and effort that I put into these videos, and it helps out the YouTube channel. So the ticker symbol is GHVI. We're going to look at this chart in just a moment, but let me give you guys just a little brief summary, which is what I told the Patreon members. So I said this back on March 1st, and GHVI is a SPAC, but not just any, okay? This is probably one of those that are going to be the outperforming SPACs, and not a lot of them do this. So GHVI stands out, right? GHVI is a stock with upside growth. The merger has been announced with Matterport in an untouched market. So what is Matterport? It is scanning apps for buildings, right? And turning the physical space into digital space. The company does this with professional cameras that create a 3D layout with the 360-degree scans. That's like really impressive, okay? Top-notch technology, and I mean just innovation in general. And it's coming to become the norm, right? The future, and then it's going to be a norm. And as this SPAC grows, there's going to be more hype and anticipation behind it. So the chart was pretty tough to read on March 1st. Obviously, today is the 26th, so I'm going to share with you guys more information. But I did tell everyone since that date that the chart is pretty tough to read, not enough data. Now, if the market continues to pull back, this one still has room to continue a downward trend, but it is a must-watch stock moving forward. We have seen its high and how much it has pulled back recently. This company is a game changer in the real estate business, okay? And let me show you guys the graph. So at that time, all the indicators were really hard to read. There wasn't even indicators. Nothing was really popping up. This still doesn't even have a 50-day moving average, right? Doesn't even have that. But it ran up really fast once the announcement was made, and then it pulled back really hard. So this was around March 5th. I caught it on March 1st. It was sitting around here. I said there was room. It did fall. It hit $11, bounced back up to 17, and it's falling again. As this is falling, these are the opportunities. And today it hit a low of $13 and some change. This is definitely one that if you have not added to your watch list, you should add it to your watch list. I'm going to post up here the video that I go ahead and do my full due diligence if you guys want to check it out. And if not, go check out the website, matterport.com. It's going to tell you everything about this company. So this one right here is said to be the stock of the decade. This is the stock you want on your watch list. This is a stock you want to at some point own because you want to take out that shot with the opportunity that's presenting itself in an untapped market. And it's the leading industry leader, like literally. GHVI is going to merge with the leader of the industry, Matterport. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.